What is up everyone, my name is Darkpast and welcome back to another video, and in today's episode I'm just gonna quickly cover all the balance changes that are coming to Crossout in upcoming weeks. We are gonna see some really good changes and some that are like usual. So let's start off with the turret cannons, and the nerf is going to be that the rotation speed is reduced by 16.6%. There used to be an update where they managed to add like a huge amount of percentage for the turning speeds. Most heavy cannons getting 100% turning speed, and narrows was like 140 something. I briefly remember. So we're also getting buffs for the special parts. Emily, damage increased by 9%. Durability increased from 120 to 175. Mass increased 160 to 180 kilos, so it's quite decent buff. And they do say that low efficiency of the revolver, the increase in mass compensates for the significant increase in durability, which is quite nice. I do see Emily's quite a bit in PvP when I play on lower power scores, and I do love them as well. I did fuse 4 of them, and they're just a fun weapon to mess around in general. The Tempest, energy consumption increased from 8 to 9. This is going to be the same thing for the Whirls, because they both are going to get the same type of nerf. Energy consumption increased from 8 to 9, time to overheat increased by 33%, and power score increased slightly. Weapon efficiency is too high, especially at low power score. Changing the power consumption will increase the power score range where the weapon may be used. Changing the time to overheat will partially compensate for the changes, making the weapon less dependent on modules. So that makes it way harder for the Tempest and Whirl being used in general, because those are really awful weapons when it comes to all sorts of combos. Especially I hate the bunker builds in PvP and Clan Wars. When I'm playing on higher power scores, those are just so annoying. And in lower power scores, I did face in one of my videos that I was getting mauled by a couple of Jawbreaker Tempest builds. Oh my god, those are awful. So Falco, acceleration reduced by 15%, high efficiency relative to the main rotors. So it's one of those, I thought it was a drone at first, but when I read it, it is a rotor, so yeah, the helicopter blade. Genesis model increased the number of launches by 50% instead of 25. This is a nice buff, increasing it by double, which is great. So we are supposed to install less of these than normally, because it makes our build basically just a moving nuke. One unlucky shot on you and you go kaboom. No fun. Hardcore engine. So the engines are getting a perk. They're going to get a lesser perk from the epic versions. So hardcore, add a perk, increases the reverse speed of wheels up to 40% of standard. Razorback increases the durability of all movement parts by 10%. Dunhorse, add a perk every 100 meter pass to buy the car, reduce remaining cooldowns of 4 modules and autonomous weapons except center downs by 7%. Anyways, epic parts, there's going to be quite a bit of changes, but the most exciting thing is with the Gungnir and Notung weapon. They're both going to cryogenic weapons category, which means that it's going to make them kind of sort of like baby devourers. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm curious to see how they're going to work out, so it is very interesting. Epic parts, we also get like adapted durability increased from 208 to 280 points, and last shot bonus from perk is now 60% instead of 50. I like that they're going to give a nice buff. No mass increase, just durability and perk damage buff, which is nice. Gungnir, weapon now freezes parts on hit by 1%, so you need to hit a lot to actually get the freezing effect properly going on. Jotun, reload time reduced from 13 to 12 seconds, and I really thought that it's the Avalanche is one of the slowest reloading weapons, but Jotun apparently is one of the slowest ones. Yokai, durability increased from 482 to 565, and blast radius increased by 33%. It is a quite low durability weapon, but also really fun. But at the same time, it's gonna be quite popular again, especially against hovers, because those are gonna make your hovers just sit on the ground. Corvo, damage increased by 15%, and penetration ability increased by 10% from 65 to 75. Punji, the range of connecting the stakes increased from 30 to 70 meters. This is a nice buff, because they like the fences, well, based poles, or well, they say it's stakes. The connection between them was quite short, but now adding like extra length, that means you can easily now play the weapon a bit better and actually be more efficient. Blockchain. remove the damage bonus emissions with battle walkers and armored aircraft. Blockchain, unlike any other weapon, will now do its usual damage emissions with battle walkers and armored aircraft. The change is due to its high efficiency in the mode. Agreed. Clarent Doe is getting like buff and nerf at the same time. Common 2% instead of 1, rare 3, no changes, special 4 instead of 5, epic 5 instead of 7, legendary 6 instead of 9. Common starting from 8000 power score, the weapon has an inflated damage output per battle. Raijin, another nerf for Raijin cannon. I'm sorry Raijin lovers, but here he comes again. Damage on hit when fully charged is reduced by 11%, penetration ability reduced from 65 to 55, and durability reduced from 1281 to 1165. Due high efficiency of the weapon over the wide range of 7000 to 1600 power score. It is quite crazy to see how an epic cannon can dominate in a lot of power scores. Well, like with the Tempest, but 41% overheat increased compared to Tempest. Tusk at a 50% bonus to ram damage. Ram damage bonus now perk reduced from 40 to 20%. Ram damage resistance increased from 60 to 70. The changes simplified the dealing of ram damage, making it less perk dependent, but not increasing its maximum value. The damage resistance change will increase the armor cost survivability. I mean, it's really nice that they add a little bit of resistance to damage, which makes the ramming a little bit easier and you don't get yourself killed so quickly. Big rams, lovely to getting buffed. So tonnage increased from 2300 to 2500 kilos. Power penalty reduced from 20 to 19%. Rare big rams in wheel mode now turn at maximum angle like front ones. All big rams now use same weapon group like robotic legs. Lack of efficiency relative to other mechanical legs. Changing the penalty to cabin power and steering angle make the wheeled mode more mobile. Assigning all big rams to the same weapon group makes it possible to increase their parameters without fear of balance problems caused by the simultaneous use of both modes on different big rams on high power score armor cars. Meat grinder. Awaited nerf. Mass increased from 730 to 910. Tons reduced from 3600 to 3400. Power penalty increased from 18 to 22. Speed of turning in place reduced by 15%. So before it was 30, now it's 15. And they're still quite efficient. Petrol. Acceleration reduced by 15% and tonnage reduced quite a bit. So yeah, similar to the Falco changes. Tengu. Tengu, if I remember correctly, was one of those I don't now remember what was the Tengu weapon or what it was. Perk recharge time increased from 4 to 7 seconds. Consistently high efficiency over a wide range of power score previously. The Tengu perk reloaded faster than most weapons, giving it a significant advantage in firefights. Cheetah. Bonus to maximum cabin speed increased 13% to 14%, and tonnage increased from 3000 to 3200 kilos, which is also nice. Cheetah needs a little bit more love because it's one of the cheapest epic engines you can buy in the game. It's still relatively fast, so it's nice. Okay, legendary parts, here we go. Header. Energy consumption reduced from 14 to 13 points and power score reduced. Unpopular weapon, I agree. So it's nice that they're gonna buff the energy, so more stuff can be added and also reduce the power score and be more used. Retcher, durability increase. Well, that's kind of nice that Retchers are getting a buff. Mass increase is also increasing, but it still makes them relatively good. Fukibari, the weapon that I love, and I dominated in Uranium Wars with this, and also in Glam Wars. It's a really strong weapon for me, at least, because I love it. I use Catalina Fukibari combo. So projectile speed increased by 20%, spread reduced by 20%, and increase in spread after firing is reduced by 25%. Notung, moved to the cryogenic weapons category, and weapon now freezes parts on hit by 1.5% instead of 1% compared to Gungnir. Fortune, lovely. We're gonna see fortunes again. And a perk, as a projectile travels the first 200 meters, its damage and plasma radius increase gradually by 30% and 15% respectively. So if it continues going for 200 more meters, increases by 15% extra and it stacks up. Projectile lifetime increased from 8 to 12 seconds. Rate of fire increased by 12.5%, which is also nice because the previous change was reducing it by 20%, so we're getting at least over a half back. Compiler, the new cannon. Buffing, so yeah, it's gonna get buffed quite a bit. Recoil, spread, maximum spread, and all sorts of accuracy buffs for that, so it is getting huge buffs on that. Imugi getting nerfed. Disgusting weapon, we all know that, but they're still fun. Projectile speed reduced by 10%. Reloading time increased from 6 to 7. Impulse reduced by 3 times. Perk radius reduced from 3.5 to 3 meters. Kaiju. Short charge time increased from 3.5 to 4 seconds. Holding time after charging reduced from 4 to 3.5 seconds. So basically just like swapping around. Grab this. The perk now activates when approaching an enemy from the rear quarter of an armor car, not the rear half. Commented change will be made using grab this perk more demanding on the player's skill. Griffin. Oh, Griffin's getting nice change as well. The perk now reduces the recharge time of modules and drones by 5%, in addition to hiding from radars once per second while it is active. The boost only affects the cabin power. Hippogriff. Perk after time increased and reduced active time, which is really nice. Very good change. Whaler, expected. It is a dominating medium cabin in legendary category, so it deserves a nerf. So speed drop from 80 to 76, and perk activation time is from 10 to 8 seconds. Satori, also dominating light legendary cabin, also needed a nerf. Maximum perk bonus is now gained after 3.5 seconds of continuous drifting instead of 3 seconds, and resets in 1.5 seconds after exiting the drift instead of 2.5. And it is quite efficient, and it's used with almost any combo available, so it's gonna be more dependent on the skills. I do use Satori cabin on one of my builds, which is the imp build. You saw it on one of my YouTube videos where I tested out rapid fire machine guns. Finwell. Perk no longer affects spread stability. It's getting nerfed. So Pilgrim, Photon and Nova cabins both are getting mass reduction, tonnage increase, and the effect of mass on acceleration reduced by 10%. So they're going to be a little bit better than they are currently. All protective fields, all the fields, aka shields, are getting buffed. So which is really nice, because some of the weapons are easily able to destroy the shields, which one of them is Wretched, just insta deleting them. Robotic legs, so we're getting like Flamingo, I don't know, so Dino legs and whatever the other like Tango I think it was called. So yeah, they're gonna have jumping. The jump is activated by holding down the handbrake key, and the Waltz and Helicon added additional well points, so that's nice. So it makes it easier to attach the weapon for different parts. And probably, if I get lucky, maybe on Friday I'll do a testing on the test server to see how the weapons are performing. But that's for it today, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a quick one, and if you still haven't, please make sure to give it a like for the video. Maybe subscribe, it's completely free, and you can anytime unsubscribe if you want to. And also, down below in the description, there's also my Discord server. Thank you again. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.